What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the official Cliffy J, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm gonna be giving you guys a challenge 41 power rankings. Even though we haven't actually had the first episode, I really did debate on if I was gonna drop one on the episode 0, but I'm deciding to drop one, and I'll usually probably drop the next power rankings around Friday, maybe Saturday at the latest, just because I don't think it's enough time for it to marinate with y'all. But I really debated on if I was going to make this video, and I'm going to do it. Another reason I really debated on if I was going to make this video now is because we still don't really know how the format is going to be. As we seen like in the trailer, that it's not going to be these same partners the whole way. That doesn't really, let me know how we're gonna do it. Is this gonna be like a, USA where they're switching it every single time? Or is this gonna be one where they switch it at the halfway point or switch it in a couple, like, you know what I mean? I don't really know. So since we don't know, I'm just gonna do this power ranking based on how good I think these teams are in the standing positions they're in as of right now. And at number 16, I've got Anissa and Leo. And even though I think Leo is certainly one of the better, contenders from an athletic standpoint, he didn't really show out in this first challenge. And Anissa is Anissa. So she's cooked. Like, I think, like, it's almost certain we're going to be having an injury or something, or just like she gets like best. It's not. It can't really be fraud checked with Anissa, but she'll just get beat by someone she shouldn't get beat by in elimination, like, or something, or she'll beat someone she shouldn't beat, like Cara, and piss everybody off. But nah, I just don't think they have a chance of winning. Anissa's never winning. It's just that simple. And at number 15, after a long deliberation in my mind, Naya and Justin. And I didn't want to do Justin like that because I do think the kid got some potential, but I feel like, for one, the trailers we've seen, Naya is not really trusting this kid. Now, do I think they'll be the next ones to go home? No. And that's why I debated on if I want to put them higher, but they are the team that I think would really lose to most, if not every team, if they were to be in a final. And they lose to most of these teams in a lot of different eliminations because we can't trust Naya to go out there and dominate in a physical elimination. And I highly doubt we can trust Justin to go out there and dominate in a physical elimination. No disrespect to the guy. And at number 14, I have another one of Naya's, not even another one, but another Alliance member that is going to definitely be rocking with Naya. I have Derek and Blue Kim. And that is just mainly because, like I said, I'm predicting a fraud check, you know what I mean, for Derek on this season. And I just don't think Blue Kim's going to be the best competitor. I don't think they have a very high chance of winning if they get to the end. I don't think they have a chance of actually getting to the end because I do think they'll be an easy target. Like, who would I want to go against in elimination? Oh, I'll take Blue Kim and Derek. You know what I mean? So I don't think I really got much of a chance. At number 13, I've got CT and Tay. And I really debated between this team and the next team that I got really toughly. But at the end of the day, Tay is not coming in talking about her physical abilities. She's basically letting it be known she's going to be washed in the challenges. You feel me? Getting cooked. And if we knowing that, like, I'm already low on you as an individual and that's dragging your team down, then we look at CT, the state of CT, like, they're done. It's just that simple. And at number 12, I got the other, Boston, Massachusetts person on this cast. These people have been a bit of a duo on some seasons. I got no, I got Cara and Jake. I can't believe I still said CT. But I was gonna say CT and Cara, which is crazy. But I got Cara and Jake. And I do think Jake got some potential for sure. I do also think that it's possible he could end up being, considered a threat. He has the type of physique that, a lot of dominant players have had, that more short, stocky build, but he has the athletic background. On top of the fact that he's with Cara and we know her level, right? And I do think Kara is going to be continuing to slightly fall off. So I don't think we'll have the best Kara. And the MAGA stuff is going to affect her. I just know it is. I know they're going to target the MAGA players just because that's like a big thing that's going to be on people's mind going into the season. And at number 11, I've got Derek and Leica. And I wanted to have my boy Derek higher, but I do just think a lot of these veteran guys are going to be, a step behind. For one, what we've seen in the past, but also a step behind some of these rookies. Like I'm telling you, these rookies are good guys. And I think they proved it a little bit in this episode 0. I know the vets probably weren't trying that hard because why? Does it really matter? A lot of these rookies suck in their mind. I would just not. I'm not. I would assume they don't really judge a book by its cover as much, more just based on performance. So because they've been around the block a bunch of times, they know you can have popcorn muscles. But yeah, I don't really think that Derek is going to be the best Derek, and regardless, he's going to have a target on his back as a really strong player. Then you have Leica, someone that has no connections, and she's a beast. Like I think this is going to be someone that people are going to be pretty scared of. And at number 10, I've got Rogan and Adrian. And honestly, this team just has like no competitive aura. I don't know how else to say it. I just don't think that, Adrian is going to be any type of like beast. I think she's going to be more like a pretty girl, that's just kind of here just to have fun and just, for the experience, doesn't really know what she signed herself up for type of thing. Because we know the challenge is a little different than a lot of these other shows, especially Married at First Sight. She's off of Married at First Sight. This isn't even Love Island where it's like a real competition, So, nah, I don't think this team is going to have too much. I think Adrian's going to drag Rogan down. And I do think them forming this UK alliance will get a lot of the other non-UK players to want to target some of them. And I think this will be the easiest target because Rogan's probably going to be the least connected. And at number 9, I've got one of the most skilled teams, the teams I think actually is going to be one of the best performance wise, Bananas and D. And I have them closer to the middle of the pack because I just don't really trust that, Bananas is going to, be able to do what he was able to do last season, even. And I don't even think what he did last season is mildly impressive for Bananas when we're just talking about a performance in comparison to what he's done in other seasons against other players. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just more, he had some pretty good situations in the eliminations, and he wasn't really the most dominant daily competitor. Kylan and Jordan were clearly better than him. I mean, Derek was probably on his level, Corey was right on his tail type thing. So not really. But, he wasn't a beast on 40 like what we have seen Bananas be in his prime. So I know we don't got prime Bananas. He's going to be playing the same old game. He's going to have the MAGA tag on his back. He already has oppositions in the game that are going to be in much better positions than him, in my opinion, from what I'm able to gauge so far. I think he'll have a lot of guys. Like, I think all the vet guys mainly will be like with him, but I think the other subsection is very strong, the guys that aren't with him. And I obviously think that if D is able to not be partnered with Bananas, then it'll be easy for her to have a deep run. She's a beast. She has survivor connection, and but being connected with Bananas, they're probably gonna be going into multiple eliminations and usually lose when that's the case. And at number 8, I've got Turbo and America, and I genuinely want to have them higher because I know how good Turbo is. We just know America's not going to be a physical competitor. She's letting that be known. She can just binge a show. So if you're just more of a show binger rather than a competitor, I don't know how good of a chance they're going to have, on top of the fact that Turbo is more like a lone wolf nowadays. I do think that he should have a good connection with a Leroy and a like Theo still. And it's a couple people he should be able to work with in theory. But, the kid's always more of a loner in the game, more recently. So I don't really think he'll be in a great position. And at number 7, I've got Nani and Ben. And the main reason that I have them so high is because I do think that endurance and running is probably going to be like their strong key. I don't think they don't really have anything else in their tool of, bag of tricks or whatever you want to call it. But I think they're gonna have the lowest threat out of any team, like almost overall. Like I don't think anyone's gonna be afraid of them. I think everyone's gonna kind of like them, gonna be good socially type thing. So when I put those two together, if they make the final against somebody that's not, the top teams or like the really skilled teams, you never know. Or if it's like a running heavy final and Nani can finally not choke, like you never know. And at number 6, I've got Jeremy and Aviv. And was surprised by Jeremy for sure. The guy, I didn't watch his Amazing Race season. I just seen their low placement, and I'm like, okay, they're not, or like middle of the road placement. I thought, okay, he's probably not going to be elite. Maybe it's because of his partner, but the guy he has the final running ability. We already know that. Now we don't know if he has the puzzle skills and all that, but that's why he picked up Aviv, someone he knows has those abilities and connections to the vets. Now, the problem with that is I feel like the vets that he's going to be connected to are going to actually be the vets that are going to be closer to the bottom of the overall pecking order in the game. I think that Bananas and Aviv are probably going to be two of the people that are closest to the bottom. You know what I mean? So, I could end up being wrong. I definitely think that it's possible that even if they're not on the bottom, it'll be such opposing sides that they're going to be getting targeted heavily. And then how good he is, they're going to definitely target them. So, though I do think that if they are able to make the final, they probably are the front runner. I mean, I guess you could say at this point, like the, highest chance of winning if they make the final. I just highly doubt they'll be able to make it that far. And at number 5, I've got Ashley and Gabe. And, the guy is a big athlete. And with him having the track record in athletics that he has, a rugby background and then also WWE, I think he'll definitely have the fitness. Like, I could see him being similar to a Joss, like, genuinely. But I just don't know if he's going to have that endurance. Because a lot of the bigger guys struggle, early, especially with that endurance stuff. Now, he did not do bad in that initial challenge. He was able to finish off in the top half of the guys, which is good, which is really good. So we're just going to have to see. We're definitely going to have to see. And we know Ashley's body. I definitely think that Ashley's going to have a really solid season, and she is definitely a potential contender to win this season. So it's not really too much to say there. And I think she'll be able to play the middle pretty well between the two big veteran sides we're going to have. And at number 4, I've got Leroy and Sydney. And they are another team that I reckon will be in a really good spot because Leroy's always been really good socially. I don't think he'll have a target on his back because he's not revered as such an elite, skilled player. He's just more like, oh, the guy's going to be scary in elimination. You know what I'm saying? So, on top of, those two things, he also is going to be there with a beast of a partner. I think he's going to have one of the best female partners in the game. Just going off of what we know, I'm just going to assume Sydney's going to probably be a top 2 or 3 girl on the season. I think she's probably going to be top 2 in the dailies. It's going to be like her, Michaela, Dee, and Ashley that I think are going to be like the best in the dailies. Maybe Cara. And then I think that she's going to, if she makes the final, bro, like, even if she's not good, I think she's going to be fighting hard. Like, I think she's feisty, man. I really like Sydney. I've always wanted her to be on the challenge. And I'm going to continue to have faith in Sydney. I wanted to put them higher, but I just can't trust Leroy. I can't trust Leroy to get it done when they get there. But as of right now, I think they have such a high chance to get there. I genuinely believe they'll be a finalist team. As of right now, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, they're probably not going to be partners. Also, well, we know they're not going to be partners all season. But if they're able to get back together, you know what I mean? Like, hey, and this is why this is a hard ranking to make because we don't know how the entire partners and things are going to go. So I'm just basing this off of how good I think these teams are standing. I already said that. But yeah, let's get it. This team is probably the most likely to just skate to the final. Like, fantastic social games. Cedric is, pretty good friends with America from what I know. He's cool with Blue Kim. Olivia has Naya, Theo, Derek that are like complete ride or dies. And then she also has pretty good relationship with like all the vets mainly. Like, I don't see her really having any issues socially. And same with Cedric. Cedric also finished second for the guys and third overall. And Olivia was top 5 for the women and top 10 overall. So I definitely think that Olivia's probably, in the best shape that she's been in now. I do think the pregnancy, could lead to, maybe not the best possible performance, like late stretch in the game. At the same time, it's going to be really early in the pregnancy. So she probably still going to be hooping. And if she's still going to be hooping, I think this is definitely a top 3 team. And at number 2, I've got Will and Michaela. And I wanted to have them at number 1. But at the end of the day, I don't really know with Will just yet. Will was the 9th guy to finish. So he was, closer to the middle of the pack. Michaela was the 7th woman to finish. So she was, closer to the middle of the pack also, but a little bit higher, you know what I mean? Like for them, gender wise, obviously. But yeah, no, we already know how strategic that Michaela is. I'd reckon once again that she's gonna set herself up pretty well. And I think Will is gonna do pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? Not being, one of the older or one of the younger, being more in the middle of the cast age wise. And him also being someone that I do think is going to be pretty good socially, well-rounded socially, willing to, be having relationships with different type of people, being really open. So I think this team will early game try to coast as long as they're, together. I think they're going to try to coast, but eventually they're going to have to put the pedal to the metal and show their strength as a team, which could certainly affect them because they don't have as many connections as the number 1 team, but you never know, right? And at number 1, I've got Theo and Izzy. And this is so tough because I do think the UK alliance will be something that is highlighted during the season. People are going to be taking shots at the UK players, and that really could affect their chances. But at the same time, when I'm just looking at both teams on paper, I don't care what y'all say, man. Theo has always been a beast. Yes, he can end up being embarrassing on this season too. And if he does embarrass me, because now he'll be embarrassing me. If he doesn't embarrass me again on this season, I'm done with Theo, bro. I'm done with Theo, bro. I gotta just be done with Theo. And it'll just be, it is what it is, bro. I rocked with you, but you like totally fell off. And I'll blame it on injuries. I blame it on weight and injuries. I'm just be honest. We seen what happened in that World Championships final. The guy messed up his foot bad, you know what I'm saying? He also messed up his eye. He's never been the same, since these injuries. Because he was just fine on World Champs. But he's never been the same since these injuries. And since he's never been the same since these injuries, if you combine them both, right? That's why he's washed. He's washed. If he doesn't have a good season this year, he's washed. And that's why. But I'm predicting for another bounce back season and go out there and cook. And Izzy, I rock with Izzy heavy, man. I rock with Izzy heavy, and I know that, she already was a fitness baddie before she came on here. That's what already had me glazing, saying, okay, Izzy's gonna be pretty good. But knowing that she also has, an athletic background, oh, now we really cooking. She ain't just a fitness baddie. She's also athletic fitness baddie. She ain't just a fit chick. She's an athletic fit chick. And you know what that usually means in the challenge. We got another one on our hands, and hopefully she can cook. Hopefully they can cook. And these are like predictions, kind of, because we don't really know how everything's going to shape out. But these are the power rankings that I am giving you guys. As of right now, Izzy and Theo at number 1. And the rest of the list. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Push the notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new lit banger. Peace.